Welcome to Math Time with Mrs. Sturzer.
Today's topic is least common multiples.
All right, boys and girls, today we are going to learn about what's called the LCM, also known as the LCD. So, L stands for least, C stands for common, and M stands for multiple. Okay, LCD is the same thing, only the D stands for denominator. Okay, so let's talk about what these words mean first of all. So least means the very lowest. Common means something that's the same. And multiple, well, we've been doing multiples every day with number of the day. That is your multiplication tables. So 1 times 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 3, those answers are the multiples. Well, we use least common multiple to find the least common denominator. We're going to go through how to do this. So let's use this example. Okay, we have the two fractions, 2/3 and 3/4. Let's say we wanted to add these together. Well, guess what? We cannot add fractions together that have different denominators, okay? So we have a 3 here and a 4 here. We can't add them. It is impossible to add fractions with unlike denominators. So what do? Well, we have to figure out how to change the denominators so they're the same. And we do that by finding the LCM. Okay, so we make a little chart here. It's kind of like a side T-chart, or sorry, factor sort, only this is going to be your multiple, I don't know what we would call this, our multiple line here. So let's do our multiples. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I'm going to stop there and see if I can find one that is common with 4. So we have 4, 8, 12. Oh, you know what? Right here, these two match. And that is my lowest one. So we have 12 and 12. Well, so then I look and I think, okay, so if 3 times what equals 12? Well, 3 times 4 equals 12. So what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 2 times 4 is 8. So then I go over here and I think, okay, 4 times what equals 12? 4 times 3 equals 12. So what I do to the bottom, I do to the top here. So 3 times 3 is 9. So now I have my two new fractions that I can add. So if I added actually these together, it'd be 8 plus 9 is 17, 12. I keep the same denominator and I have 17/12. We're going to get into that in another lesson. For right now, you're just focusing on finding the least common multiples and practicing that. All right, let's do another problem so you can get the hang of it. So we have 4/5 and 3/6. Okay, so we need to find the least common multiple for 5 and 6. So I do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I know 5 times 6 is 30, but let me see if I'm going to have any multiples before then that would be less than 30. Let's see, 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. Nope, looks like 30 is going to be my magic number. Okay, so now I'm going to rewrite my fraction using 30. All right, so let's do this. So we do 5 times what equals 30, and 6 times what equals 30. So we know 5 times 6 equals 30, and we know 6 times 5 equals 30. So I'm going to just focus on this fraction right now. 5 times 6 is 30. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So 4 times 6 is 24. Now I'm going to look at this fraction here. 6 times 5 is 30. Well, 3 times 5 is 15. So my new fractions are 24 30ths and 15 30ths. These are 24 30ths is equivalent to 4 fifths, and 15 30ths is equivalent to 3 sixths. So those are the fractions that I can use to add or subtract with those ones. Okay, one more, and hopefully you'll have the hang of it. So let's do a problem with 3 fractions. So we have 5 sixths, and we have 2 eighths, and we have 1 half. So something that I can do is I can look at these and think, okay, can any of these fractions be simplified? 5 sixths cannot be simplified, and 1 half can't, but 2 eighths can. If I divide it by 2, then 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 1/4. So 2 eighths can now become 1/4, and I need to find a least common multiple for these. So I'm going to draw my little chart here. I think 2, 4, 6. Well, if I do this, 4, 8, 12. I do here 6, 12. Looks like 12 could possibly work. Let me try and keep going with the 2. 6, 8, 10, 12. So that's going to be the one that all 3 of these have in common as 12. So I could do 8 and 8 for the 2 and the 4, but down here 6 doesn't have an 8 in it, so I couldn't use that one. And I could use 6 and 6, 6 and 6 for the 6, or for the 2 and 6, but 4 doesn't have a 6. So 12 is going to be my best bet. So I am going to erase this, and I'm going to do 5 sixths, 1/4, and 1/2, and I'm going to use 12 as my common denominator, my least common denominator. So how do I get there? Well, 6 times 2 is 12, so what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 5 times 2 is 10. 4 times what is 12? 3. So what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times what is 12? 6. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 6. So now my new fractions are 10 twelfths, 3 twelfths, and 6 twelfths. And those are all equal to these fractions here. Okay? Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense on finding the least common multiple.
Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep learning and growing. Mrs. Sturzer out.